You're welcome, as long as we could help.
It's great to have a doctor's unique perspective. I'm feeling inspired.
Oh, how you flatter me.
Receptivity to sensible suggestions make for a savvy chef. Oh, she is! Creating new dishes is Xiangling's favorite thing to do. You can be sure she'll put lots of care and attention into it. Everyone's got their hobbies, and mine is cooking. Usually I just go with my own ideas, but having a whole new perspective this time is sure to make a big difference to the end result. Great! That makes this whole trip worth it! Alright, time to move on to the next. So we've got an independent thinker's perspective and a health perspective. Next, Paimon thinks we should probably talk to some picky eaters.
Coconut milk. Now I want coconut milk.
Food and medicine are inextricably intertwined, you know. To give a full account of all the ways in which they are connected, why, I'd have to start that story from a long, long way back.
Shh! Nobody was asking.
It's the Traveler in Paimon. And Xiangling.
Greetings, friends. It's been a while.
Hey, what brings you here?
Has something happened? What's with this great big stone on the ground?
Long story. So, just to confirm, I will assume responsibility for handling this stone of unknown origin. Any objections?
None here. You know how to get things done, Kuching. As long as it's with you, I can rest easy knowing that it's in safe hands.
Should I take this to mean that you doubt the relative safety of leaving this in the hands of the Tianquan?
Huh? Well, for starters, Kuching is the one who's always out running errands, rain or shine. Besides, you don't seem to give a wooden more about this whole thing anyway, so what's it to you?
I was merely joking. You, meanwhile, seem only too ready to pounce when an opportunity to publicly lambaste me arises. Even when it means giving our poor mutual friend here the cold shoulder. By no means. You wish to know about the stone, I presume. Then let me invite the great seafarer Captain Beto to tell the story, if she would be so kind.
You... Fine. Well, it's a big one, right? And such a smooth surface, too. Makes you think there's gotta be a good chunk of jade in there.
It was found by a fishing crew, not far off the coast. It must have been underwater for years, so the erosion will be what's given it that smooth finish.
Finds like this cannot be kept as private property, and must be submitted to a holder of public office. Placing it into our custody will also give them peace of mind.
So, what's inside it?
Well, we've hit it with just about every weapon we could get our hands on and haven't managed to even dent it yet. Clearly there's more to it than meets the eye.
No weapon could smash it open. Wow. Paimon doesn't think we've ever encountered a stone like that before.
Kuching has taken an unusually keen interest in this giant stone, which is why we are leaving the matter in her capable hands.
Let's put that aside for a second. Traveler, what brings you here? Were you looking for someone?
Actually, we were looking for all of you. We need all hands on deck here.
Oh? Hopefully not because there's been some sort of cataclysmic event.
No, nothing like that. Paimon's just getting carried away. I just wanted to ask everyone about their food preferences.
Food preferences? That's a little unexpected.
I have rather simple tastes. Precise, pure, smart, and sophisticated. That is all I require.
That's your idea of simple, huh?
I summed up my culinary requirements in 4 words. Is that insufficiently simple for you?
A few weeks out on the open ocean would fix your flawed definition of simplicity, let me tell you that.
What about you, Beto?
Me? If it's freshly cooked and piping hot, that floats my boat. If it's got a little chili pepper in there too, I'm one very happy captain.
Paimon thought you would have said bar food.
Oh, bar food works too.
As for me, it's got to be seafood.
Okay, got it. So, seafood, piping hot, and, simple but sophisticated. And that's where I would disagree. Traveler, surely you've heard of golden shrimp balls.
Oh my, they're my favorite.
You need to wash and devein the shrimp, wrap it in finely sliced potato strips, then deep fry it to perfection. There's no room for cutting corners. They're very precisely put together. They taste pure, the presentation is smart, and the skill needed to cook them is highly sophisticated. It fits Ningguang's forward summary to the letter. Huh. So what you're saying is, for all the frills and trills, good food is all the same at the core?
I heartily agree. Golden shrimp balls are a prime example. Their essence lies in combining art and nutrition in a single package. It is a dish of true value.
Okay, got it. So Kuching loves golden shrimp balls.
I didn't say that. Did I?
No, at least not outright.
Alrighty. Thanks for all your input. I'll be sure to take it all into consideration.
Traveler, Paimon, do you have anything planned after this? Good. I'd like you to help me investigate something. It's about this stone.
You picked the right people for the job. We investigate stuff all the time.
My thoughts exactly. The Qixing has a public duty to deliver our final verdict to the fishermen, but there are also some things I would like to investigate on a personal level. I'm sure you've become acquainted with the general background of the Moonchase festival. However, I have my own understanding of this festival's roots. My grandfather was a researcher of Liyue's traditions. In his notes, he indicated that there was a deity called the Stove God in ancient Liyue, which people paid tribute to at a certain time of the year. Very few written records make mention of the Stove God, and those that do are notoriously confusing. Some scholars believe that the Stove God was just another title held by the Lord of Geo, but others suggest that this was a different deity altogether. One folktale even claims that the ancients found the Stove God's shrine, but there was no statue, only a huge, smooth slab of stone. Shortly after it was found, the stone was lost in transit, and it hasn't been seen since. This stone here has all the same features, so I suspect it could be the one that went missing all those years ago. After many years of researching ancient texts, my grandfather came to believe that the practice of paying seasonal tribute to the Stove God may be best described as a festival. He called it the Stove God Festival. That would make it the forerunner to the Moonchase Festival we know today. But this is all just theory and conjecture. To prove any of it, we'd need to start by identifying who the Stove God really was. Now that Rex Lapis has passed on, and Liyue has entered the age of humankind, his successors should continue to respect our nation's culture and traditions, just as he did. That's why I think the responsibility for this situation should fall to me. It's a chance to shed light on our history, revitalize an ancient tradition, and possibly prove my grandfather's hypothesis along the way. With any luck, we'll nail all 3 in one fell swoop. It was just a couple of days ago that we received this stone, right after we decided to use food as the central theme for this year's festival. It makes me wonder, maybe a divine will is at work behind all of this.
3 birds with 1 stone, huh? That's pretty efficient, even for Kuching. Hey, don't worry about that. This sounds super important, so don't mind me. Besides, we're only... Wait a second. I got it!
What? Why are you shouting?
Kuching, can I tag along for your investigation?
But
Since it's all about the stove god, I might get to learn something useful about cooking along the way. It'll be great inspiration for me in the competition. Please, let me come along. I promise I'll help.
if it means that much to you... Okay, I suppose you can come.
Really? Yay! Thank you so much! You're the best!
Now that that's settled, time to get going. Chingsa Village is said to be home to a lot of historical texts, so I'd like to start by making some inquiries there.
Alright, then it's off to Chingsa we go!
Oh, sincerely, Beidou, you misunderstand me. I have many simple pleasures. I take a stroll through Yujing Terrace and one down by the harbor every single day.
Well, everyone has their way of procrastinating, I guess.
Oh, sincerely, Beidou, you misunderstand me.
Well,
While the Millilith stands guard, evil.
Let's go. Time is against us.
Hi, Granny! We need your help with something. Are there any old books around Chingsa Village? You know, from a really long time ago?
Oh, looking for ancient texts, are we? Let me think. There is an old warehouse over there, property of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Many books are stored inside, those that they have no room for at home. In fact, their youngest comes over this way to read sometimes.
The Feiyun Commerce Guild's youngest? You must be talking about Xingqiu.
Paimon didn't know they had a warehouse here. Let's go take a look.
I'm being robbed!
It came from that direction. Come on!
Goba, get them!
Orders given. Orders received. Rise.
Terra Smash! Yeah!
Speed of light.
Fry! Terra Smash! I've come here to clean the book warehouse plenty of times before, but this is the first time I've run into these crooks.
Are you all right?
I am, thanks to all of you. Hey, wait a minute. You're the traveler, aren't you? And you're with... Lady Kuching. An honor. Truly an honor.
We'll try not to take up too much of your time. I understand that this book warehouse is the property of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Could you advise whether we might find any text relating to the stove god in this collection?
The stove god? I heard that's the Lord of Geo, right?
Huh? Really?
Yeah, a friend of mine who conducts research mentioned it once before. We use stoves for cooking, and stoves are built from rock. Some people think that the stove is a gift from the Lord of Geo. And that's why they call him the stove god.
Seems logical enough. But do you have any books on the topic?
I'm sorry, I'd have to ask the young master about that.
Oh, any questions? Please, ask away.
Hey, it's Chongyun and Xingqiu!
Hello, one and all.
Hey guys, what are you doing here?
I was bored with nothing to do, and thought I'd come out this way for a bit of reading. And then I thought, why not bring Chongyun along too?
Yes, I'm just along for the ride, really.
I see the Yuheng Kuching is with you. Whatever brings you here must surely be a matter of grave importance.
Master Xingqiu, if I may be so bold, do you happen to know if there are any texts on the subject of the stove god among this collection?
Since I personally selected which volumes to store here, I do have some recollection of their contents. If my memory betrays me not, there is one volume among them called Demystifying the Legends of Liyue, which mentions the stove god.
Might I take a look?
Certainly. If it pleases my lady, I shall lead the way. Sheng, I will take care of things here. You're free to go about your own business.
They're back! So did you find it?
Yes, Master Xingqiu has quite an exceptional memory. Demystifying the Legends of Liyue does indeed mention the stove god. However, it says the following. The body of the dragon wielded a tail that could eclipse the sun, and claws to command fire and teach the ways of wisdom. Receiving the gift bequeathed unto them, humankind cooked food with fire, and thus did they prosper.
The body of a dragon? The stories about Rex Lapis say the same thing.
That much is true, but this is the only passage in the whole book. If we want to find out more, we'll have to continue our investigation. There's nothing further to discover here. It seems we'll have to look at other options.
I come from a long lineage of exorcists, and our family too has amassed a number of ancient texts. Now that you mention the stove god, I seem to recall reading somewhere that this god once appeared at the Guili Assembly. Of course, I can't say if it's true or not.
Books are penned by people. All they can do is show what the author was thinking. Everyone's mind is different, so every book on a given topic will give a different account. I apologize that we could not help in a more substantial capacity.
Your help thus far is quite ample. Liyue is a vast and rich land. All things that existed here in the past have left their trace. So long as we do not abandon our search, it is sure to bear fruit eventually. Thank you all. We will continue our investigation elsewhere.
Oh, hold up. I had a question too. Xingqiu, Chongyun, could you tell me what kind of food you like?
Food? Oh no. You're not thinking of taking part in the Masterful Chefs, are you?
Yeah, I totally am. What's wrong? You look like you've just seen a ghost.
Xiangling, this is a major event. I beg you, please don't cook anything strange for this competition.
What do you mean, strange?
Mushroom slime stew, to give one example.
Okay, fair enough. That dish isn't my most popular. But that's why I'm doing all this research, so I can create some really special dishes to win everyone over.
Well, in that case, I like cold food.
That's 'cause you can't handle hot and spicy, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
My tastes are on the mild side. I prefer gentle dishes with minimal seasoning. Soups and stews, vegetables and broth, seafood or freshwater fish, either boiled or steamed. These kinds of dishes I am most partial to.
No surprises from the Guhua Geek. Okay, another mild child. Got it.
These are just personal preferences, and everyone's are quite different. Are you sure this eclectic mix of opinions will be of any use?
Of course! You're my customers, and putting a smile on customers' faces is my calling as a chef.
Though Xiangling's market research blade stabs often into the dark, her heart never strays from the noble path.
If anyone can win the hearts and minds with their cooking, it's gotta be someone like Xiangling. She's got pure intentions and really cares about the customers. No, where's all this praise coming from? Knock it off, guys. You're embarrassing me. Sorry for holding you all up. That's all I needed to know. Shall we carry on with the investigation now? Over to you, Kuching. Where to next?
So we've learned the stove god allegedly made an appearance at the Guili Assembly. But today that place is largely a wasteland with few traces of human activity. Wangshu Inn is close by, so let's stop off there on the way over and see what we can find out.
Forgive us, for this is where we must part ways. May your journey be a smooth one.
Yes, best of luck. If you run into any difficulties, come and find us. We'll be only too glad to help.
Let's go! Next stop, Wangshu Inn!
Now, which book to read today? Aha! How about this? Chongyun, pick a book, any book, and read it out loud to me, will you? That way, I can give my mind a rest.
Huh? That's why you brought me along?
Don't like that plan? Okay, then I'll read one for you. How about Young and Hopelessly Smitten?
Xingqiu, don't you think you have one too many frivolous books in your collection?
Okay. A Guide to Getting Ahead in Yujing Terrace. How about this one then?
Really, Xingqiu?